Alright guys, welcome to the video. Now this is going to be a part 2 of a previous tutorial, so if you haven't watched that tutorial, please be sure to watch it so you're up to date. As many of you guys know, this is a part 2 of the how to have effects tutorial, so let's go straight into it and let's not waste any time.
Like and subscribe in the next 5 seconds or you won't be able to edit a montage.
Alright, so this is where we last left off at, if you guys do not remember. Now, it's a hard-hitting beat, and we already have a lot of effects in here, but what we're going to do at this point is we're going to start touching up and adding the effects that we want to use. So, like I mentioned on the last video, we're going to be adding shake effect. Now, I already made a tutorial on how to add shake. You can definitely follow that tutorial. I'll make a quick one right now, and I'll kind of use how I use my shake effect. Now, this will not be using the shake underscore or s underscore shake, which is the Sapphire plugins. We'll definitely not be using that shake. We'll be using a different form of shake, which is called Twitch. Now, Twitch is, I believe, somewhere a video co-pilot plugin that you can download online somewhere, either on YouTube or on their website. Obviously, you would have to pay for it as well too, just like many other editors as well too. You could probably get it for free somewhere on YouTube. So just look up Twitch plugin for After Effects, download on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you'll find it, although I do not recommend it just because there is a chance of you getting a virus. So anyways, I'm just gonna be using the Twitch plugin for this shake effect. Now I'm gonna go to effects and presets tab. I'm gonna click on layer, maybe layer, new, adjustment layer, and I'm gonna go ahead and rename this to shake. And we want to create impact on the shot. So I already made a tutorial, like I mentioned already, to this, but I'll be doing this briefly here to show you guys kind of my workflow on how I make these effects and kind of how I edit my montages. So let's go and look up Twitch, and you can see their video co-pilot Twitch right here on the top right. Drag that bad boy right over to the adjustment layer that says shake. Now my shake that I use personally, the one that I make, is completely simple. Like, I've just messed with this on my own, so take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to do this exactly how I do it, but if you want a cool clean shake, you could do this. Now you have two options here. We have the amount and we have the speed. You can definitely put the speed to 30 or the amount to 30, and then the speed is going to be, it's gonna sound outrageous, 999. It's gonna be 1,000. Okay, now you see this little thing right here, it says enable. Click on that bad boy, you will see these options pop up. Now you have time, slide, scale, light, color, and blur. All we're gonna be messing with today is this slide here. So go ahead and click on that check mark right there, that check box, boom. And you can already see there's already some sort of shake going on, but we'll deal with this black up here later. Now, get rid of the drop down. Let's go to operator controls and click on that drop down. And you will see the one called slide, which we'll click on as well too. So with this one, there's plenty of options that you can see on your screen. Mine's kind of a little bit blocked just because of the webcam that I have. So the only one that really does matter is that your motion blur is up, which you can barely see right here. The RGB split is optional. I usually put mine at 25 just to add some little RGB, some RGB if you want, or if not, you can just go less, 24 if it's too much, or even less if you'd want to. It really comes down to personal preference. Maybe even just do like a hint of it, like 10. So we can go to RGB split and just put it to like 10, just a hint of it. Now, what matters is usually I use a Y shake for the FORTNITE Montage. Shout out to Riot because he's the one that taught me this. I used to use X shake a lot, but now I use Y shake for most of my shakes. So we're gonna go ahead and put the slide spread from 1 to 0. So now we have a Y shake instead of an X shake. Okay, Y means up and down, X means left and right. Okay, twitches, you can keep it at 1. The slide amount is what we're going to be keyframing and messing with today. So slide amount, I'll usually put it roughly around, I don't know, like 24 or 23. If not, let's just do a 24. And I'll keyframe that right on the beat. So I'll put the stopwatch for keyframing it. We're going to click U on our keyboard to see the keyframe on the adjustment layer. And you can see here, like, this is the point in time where I want the shake to go really crazy, and I want it to fade out roughly around here. So at that point, we'll just drag this cursor over. This is where I want it to end. We're gonna put the slide amount from 24 to 0. Okay, now you have a simple shake effect. As you can see, there's black all over it. We'll deal with that later though. And then usually what I do is I put 0 before the first keyframe as well too, just because then if you don't do that, for example, like it'll remain steady and then boom, shake. But if you don't do that, what you would get is just consistent shake throughout the whole entire clip, and we don't want that. We just want it on the beat drop. So go ahead and go at the keyframe before, 1 frame before, and put the slide amount to 0. Now, with that being said, this might be a little bit too long for me personally, so I'm gonna drag this keyframe over. You can see this is kind of how it looks. Now the shake itself is pretty intense, so I might just drag this keyframe a little bit more shorter to make it not as long. But you can see like the black does just not look good whatsoever, and we're gonna fix that. Usually how I fix my shake is really simple, is by adding another shake and a screen pump on top of it. So always Control C or always Control S or File, Save, just to make sure that you don't your whole entire project is just not crash. Okay, so this was our first effect for this tutorial, was the shake effect. Really simple. I made a tutorial about it already. This is a different form of shake that you could use for your montages that I use all the time. So that's the first effect. The second one that we're going to go ahead and add to kind of fix this black on the shake is pretty much add a screen pump. I wouldn't consider that much of an effect. It's more of a simple effect, but every montage has a screen pump. If you can notice it by the HUD of the game, usually on Call of Duty you can really notice it really well. Anyways, same thing again, layer, new, adjustment layer, rename this to screen pump, as for plural. And what we're gonna go, and all we're gonna do at this point is we're gonna go to Effects and Presets tab and look up Transform. You can see it's a normal effect within After Effects. So go ahead and grab that bad boy, drag it over to the pretty much adjustment layer as well too. And you can see we have all these different options here. Okay, we have 9:6, we have anchor point, we have position, and we have scale. All we're messing with is scale. Don't worry about the rest. Don't worry about rotation, and don't worry about opacity. Don't worry about any of this stuff, okay? We're just messing with the scale to create that screen pump effect, and that's really all we're using it for. So usually for my screen pumps are pretty intense on this beat drop right here. I usually put him, so what we're gonna do is I want a crazy screen pump on this beat drop right here, okay? What we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and keyframe it 1 frame before at 100 by clicking on the stopwatch on scale. Press U on our keyboard to see where this keyframe is at, which you can see here, it's like that blue dot right there. And then this is where I want the beat to really just happen, the beat drop, where I want the screen to just go boom. And what we're gonna do is put the scale, you can put it, most people put it at 105. I might sound crazy, but I put mine at 115. And then I go ahead and use this screen pump for every single transition. So in many ways, this could be a screen pump transition, but I like it a lot because it kind of fades out and then it goes into the next scene, screen pumping it in. So for example, like it kind of slowly goes out and then boom, next scene. So usually what I do is I just put 100, 115, back to 0. And you can see it slowly goes back to 100. It goes 115, 114, 103, and literally just keeps going down slowly. And what I did is all I did was copy these 2 keyframes and paste at the end of the clip for the next clip. That's usually what I do for my screen pumps. Really simple. I obviously don't always recommend using the 115 for every single beat. I just use it for the first beat because it's really intense. After that, I will just go to 105 because 115 is really insane. It's way too zoomed in. But I'll usually use it for the first beat. Usually the first beat drop, because this is just an insane beat drop. So only use a 115 screen pump if you're doing a crazy screen pump or a beat drop. Okay, for any other normal beat, just use scale 105, scale it to 105, because 115 is way too intense, and I promise you everyone in the community will notice when you're using it way too intense. Okay, so this is the other effect that you could definitely use. And now if we just kind of preview it with the screen pump added in, you would see the shake would be fixed completely. So a little too intense on the shake. Personally, I think it's a little too crazy for me, so I'll probably adjust the shake amplitude. But you can see that there's no more black going on because the screen is so zoomed in that you won't see it whatsoever. Now that we added the second effect. We're kind of speeding through this, so if you're having a hard time following up, help each other in the comments down below, and also be sure to subscribe so you guys get more tutorials as well too. I try to be slow and as specific as possible and telling you guys what I do and everything, so you guys kind of understand what I'm doing and kind of understand why I'm doing it. So just like always, after we add a effect, quote unquote effect, we save the project file, save, or Control S, because we want to make sure that our computer does not crash, After Effects doesn't crash. After Effects is a really glitchy system or software. So anyways, 2 effects in, we already have our shake, we have our screen pump. All we're missing at this point personally for a quote unquote effect would be glow. You can definitely add some glow. It's really simple. So I'm gonna show you guys what to do next. So same as always, layer, new, adjustment layer. Drag it down below. We're gonna go to the effects and presets tab once again, and we're gonna go ahead and look up exposure. Now this is kind of what I use for my glow as well too. You can obviously use different types of glow, but this is just a simple glow that you could use for your Fortnite montage specifically. So exposure, you can see it right here. It's part of the After Effects plugins or effects. So you're not stressing about being a third-party plugin. So you're gonna go ahead and grab that exposure and drag it over to the same adjustment layer that we just created. We're gonna rename to glow. And as you can see here, the glow itself, nothing's happening. Despite us adding this quote unquote effect, nothing is happening. It's because we still need to manipulate it over here on the top left. So what we're going to do, same as always, we're gonna go 1 frame before the beat drop. We're gonna keyframe it at 0, the exposure at 0, because we don't want no glow just yet. We want the glow to hit once the beat drops, okay? So 0, 1 keyframe before, or 1 frame before the beat drop. Go 1 frame, next frame after, right on the beat drop. Let's put the exposure, let's test out the waters. Let's just put it to like 9 to see what that does. Way too much, you see that? Way too much glow. We can't even see what's going on within the game. So scratch that, let's put it to like 1.5. Okay, we got some glow now. So this is without glow, with glow. You can see it already. So 1.5 looks good, personally. Press U on your keyboard to see the 2 keyframes down here. Let's go a couple frames over. Roughly around there, we can end it. So this is kind of where I want my glow to stop being so impactful. You can see the glow, the exposure of the video. It's just, the whites look really, really white. We can't even see what's going on. So let's go ahead and put the exposure to 0. And what that's going to do is going to create a keyframe right there. So it'll slowly glow out back to normal, as you can see here. From this point here to this point here. And just like that, if we kind of preview it, already just a simple and clean montage already. Now obviously this is still missing a lot of effects that you could definitely add on, but if we're gonna be simple with 3 simple effects that you can use, what I consider your fundamental effects for your fundamental montage, this is really it, guys. Really simple. 4 things that really matter is your sync, your glow, your screen pumps, your shake, your real smart motion blur to make the clip look a lot cleaner. And that's really much about it, honestly, when it comes to the effects. Now, on top of this, you can also add a color correction, but that could be its own separate tutorial because that is way too long to just kind of do here on just one tutorial. So if you guys want that color correction tutorial, if we can hit roughly, I don't know, let's just shoot for 2,000 likes on this video, then we will definitely get that color correction tutorial, which I will go in depth for 10 minutes on how to have a cool color correction for your Fortnite montage, for your gaming montages, any of them. Just kind of color grading, learning what kind of colors to use, you know, like what type of vibe should you use like for this specific, you know, song or edit. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. That's a really simple video. This, like I mentioned already, this project file will be in the description down below for you guys to follow along with the tutorial. But that's really it, man. Like, just check this out. Seen a nigga hung with a gold I've given you guys the tools that you guys need for you guys to make a montage. I've given you guys Fortnite cinematic tutorials. I've given you guys editing packs for free, even ones that you have to pay for just because they're my personal effects that I use every single day. I've given you guys pretty much essentially everything you guys need to make Fortnite montages a reality for yourself. So I hope you guys enjoyed, like I mentioned already. If you guys do, please leave a like. It helps out the channel a lot. Subscribe as well too, so then I can continue posting these tutorials if you guys want to see more tutorials in the future. And as always, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys later on the next video, which will probably be, like I mentioned already, either a tutorial or maybe just a montage. Who knows at this point, but hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, it's been your boy CudiEdits, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.